The Magnus Midtbo 9C test. Can it improve your climbing? Let's talk about it. Hi, it's Gordon Robb, Fat Old Climber. Welcome to the channel if you're new to it. This channel is about tracking my progress as a mediocre climber as I improve, hopefully. A bit of weight loss, bit of fitness and a bit of tech stuff. Today we want to talk about the 9C test, or Magnus Midtbo's 9C test. I'm going to talk about what it is, how it works, how you do it, what the benefits are, and more importantly, can it improve your climbing? Let's start with that question first. No. It can improve your climbing in the same way that weighing yourself will help you control your weight. It's nothing other than a check of where you are. So what is it? It's a test that has become synonymous with Magnus Midtbo, even though it's not his test. It was a test created by Mobraten and Stian Christophersen. No idea how to pronounce those names. Writers of the Climbing Bible, which is a good book. But everywhere I look, it's called the Magnus Midtbo 9C climbing test. We're talking about it because I mentioned in my 2025 climbing goals, link up here, that I would be using the 9C climbing test to keep track of my development and progress improvement. And that's what it's for. I want to talk you through what the test is. It's basically a simple battery of tests where you do 4 particular things. I read an interesting article by Hooper's Beta, which is a fantastic channel if you haven't watched it, who goes into the science behind it and whether it's a good test or not, and he had some interesting things to say about it. And in this video we're going to talk about the test, talk about how I'm going to use it, show you my stake in the ground, if you like, my first running of the test this year, talk about the scores and what that actually means. And I've also created a spreadsheet which I'm going to use to keep track of progress, and I'll find a way to attach that in the description if you want to download it and use it for yourself. So what are the 4 tests? The first one is, I've no idea what the first one's called. That would have been a good thing to know. The first one is called max dead hang, and it's basically how much you can hold on a 20mm crimp. Why 20mm? I don't know. It tends to be the size that's used in quite a lot of tests. It's not the only crimp you'll ever use, but remember this is about measuring progress. So basically all you do, you find a 20mm edge, which happens to be the lower edge on a Beastmaker 1000, and the technique is you hang for 5 seconds. And you get more points depending on how much additional weight over and above your body weight you can hang for those 5 seconds. So if you can hang for 5 seconds with just your body weight, that's 1 point. 10% of your body weight added, that's 2 points. 20%, 3 points, and you can see where this goes. Up to a maximum of 10 points for 120% of your body weight added, which is a lot. The second test is similar, but it's with pull-ups. It's doing 1 pull-up and what's the maximum weight you can add. And it's a strict pull-up from all the way down to all the way up, chin above the bar. And if you can do 1 pull-up with just your body weight, that's 1 point. 10% of your body weight added, 2 points. Again, you can see the pattern. Remember, if this kind of content is interesting to you and you want to see more of it, then don't forget to subscribe. If you're enjoying this content or finding it interesting or getting some use from it, then don't forget to smash that like button. The third test is measuring core strength, and this is where it kind of detracts slightly from the pattern in that there are 3 different varieties of test. The lowest scoring is knee raises, so you're just doing a hang and holding your knees up so that your legs are perpendicular with your hips. And if you can hold on for 10 seconds, that's 1 point, 20 seconds, 2 points, 30 seconds, 3 points. If you can do the 30 seconds, the next step up is L-sit position, and the points are slightly different. The 3 levels are 10 second, 15 second and 20 seconds, 4, 5 and 6 points respectively. If you can do that, then the next step up is front lever. And the front lever times are 5 seconds for 7 points, 10 seconds, 20 seconds and 30 seconds for a maximum of 10 points. One of the things Hoopers was talking about is how knee raise and L-sit are both very similar exercises. L-sit obviously harder, but they are core, where changing it to front lever is a lot more than core, and there are plenty of climbers that have really strong cores who can't do front levers. I'm not worried about that because I don't think I'll really ever get to the stage where I'm doing front levers. And the last test is dead hang, and that's just basically hanging from the bar for as long as you can. And that's 30 seconds for 1 point and an additional point for every 30 seconds added on. Up to 8 points, and then it's additional minutes. So for a maximum of 10 points, you need to be hanging for 6 minutes, which is a horrendous time. And it's very strict. Whilst there's no view of grip, you can't re-grip. So you're basically hanging and not allowed to re-grip. Once you get comfortable, the time starts, you can't re-grip. So that's the test. And basically how the test works is you do these 4, you get a point score, and that point score will give you a grade. And the grade is the grade that you're predicted to be able to climb, all other things being equal. And it's more specific to rope climbing. So for bouldering, the predicted grade will be higher than you can actually do, but there's a calculation you can do to reduce it. Whilst it's not exact, it doesn't really matter. I'm not using it to predict what grade I can climb. I'm using it so that I can repeat the test over time and look for an improvement in the points. So my plan is, I did it at the beginning of the year, and I'm probably going to do it at the end of every month. There might not be a lot of change in the points because for a lot of the things you're measuring time, I'm hoping for improvement in times, even although the points might not go up month by month. So let's cut to a video of me doing that test, and I'll talk you through how it went. And I've also got some examples of people that can do it a bit better than me. So here you can see me doing the finger hang. Now I can't hang for 5 seconds. And believe it or not, 2.31 seconds is a big improvement on the last time I did this test. But here's Tom showing us what 14 kilos looks like, which is 20% of his body weight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks comfortable, and decided he didn't want to go up any higher. So next, marvel at my ability to do a pull-up. Nowhere near, but what I'll do is I'll keep track of that angle and see how that improves over the months. And Tom managing a pull-up again with 20% of his body weight added, which is really impressive. Core exercise, I can only do knee raise. I'll just fast forward through this. And I don't quite manage the 30 seconds, so room for improvement there. So that's only 2 points instead of 3. And Tom, not quite an L-sit in that his legs aren't straight, but I would give him it, certainly. His wee legs have gone mental there, trying to keep straight. I think the core use is the same regardless of whether the legs are straight, but 15 seconds is good. And then lastly, just a dead hang. Again, I'll fast forward through this. So 35 seconds, big room for improvement there. So that was my first run at the test this year. As I say, I'm going to do it every month, and I'll keep you updated on how that is progressing. Let me show you how I'm keeping track of that by talking you through how I'm going to use this spreadsheet. Okay, so this is the spreadsheet as it opens up, and you can see here it opens up with a blank one. I've already put in a starting place, January, February, March. If you want to do month by month, you just copy this blank one. And all you do is you put in your name and your the date whenever you're doing it. Let's say this is today, whatever today is, and your weight in kilos. You need to put your weight in because the way the tests are done, what you're putting in here is what weight you're adding, and it needs to know your weight to work out what percentage. So let's say I'm 100 kilos. That's optimistic. Now for the finger hangs, I've put in time here, and that's if you can't hang on for 5 seconds with any weight. My problem is I can't even do 5 seconds with just my body weight. So I had 2.31 seconds and obviously no weight. So I still get 0 score. If I got to 5, it would ask me to put in the weight. If you're doing the 5, if you can do 5, you don't need to bother with this. So you put in 0, it's basically 100% of your body weight. It's just 100% your body weight. If you manage to do 9, it's 109%. Still only one score. But if I add 10 kilos, then it's 110. All the way up to, if I manage to do 100 kilos, I'm now on 9. Now to get to 10, 110 kilos isn't enough, it needs to be 120. So the way to think about it is just put in the weight you're adding. As long as you put in your weight here, this will look after itself. So let's say you've done 10. You've done 10. Same with pull-ups. If you can do a pull-up, just put in the weight you can do it with. If there's no weight added, you'll get a score. If you can do it with 20 kilos, then you'll get 3. This shouldn't be called L-sit, this should be called core. You need to pick what type you're doing. It's either knee raise, L-sit or front lever. Let's say you're doing knee raise and you manage to hold it for 25 seconds. It'll give you 2 points. If you manage to hold it for 35 seconds, it'll give you 3. Doesn't matter how many seconds you add, it won't go higher than 3. But if you're doing L-sits, and you do 10 seconds, you'll be getting 4 points. So it adds it up there. And then obviously if you are doing front lever, 5-second front lever will give you 7 points. If you can do the 20 seconds, if you can do 30 seconds, so it all does that automatically. So if we reset all that, for me, I'm 125 kilos. I did 2.31 seconds with no weight, so I don't get any score for that. I can't do a pull-up, so I don't get any score for that. I did knee raises for 27 seconds, so I get 2 points for that. Don't know why this is all here. And I did a dead hang for, I think it was 35 seconds. So I got a point for that. So it gives me a total of 3 points, which the actual grade is 6B. Now remember, that's for route climbing. What I've done is I've got a little equation here which reduces this by 2. Again, don't sweat about the fact that it may not be accurate. If you're uncomfortable with this, then just take a couple of grades off yourself. But for me, I can climb a 6A, I can't climb a 6B. So I'm quite happy with this adjustment. If this was 5 points, it would say 6, it would adjust to 6B. So that's it. And again, if you want to copy these, you just copy the blank and it'll all be fine. So I'll put this file in the description. Thanks. So for anyone nerdy like me who likes to keep track of data, I'll find a way to have that spreadsheet available in the description. You can download it and try it. I think it works. So that's it. The 9C climbing test, or as it's become known, the Magnus Midtbo 9C climbing test. What do you think? Have you tried it? Do you plan to give it a try? Let me know in the comments how you got on. Let me know in the comments what score you got. Let me know if you've tried this climbing test.